Hello, everyone. My name is Clayton Levy, and today, for the database of the week assignment, I'm going to be showing you guys the NoveList database. Um, this one is actually not provided by Reckers. This one is located on the Jersey Clicks website, which is all the databases that the state of New Jersey provides for all New Jersey residents. I'm going to get there from my local library's library page, which is the Bergen County Cooperative Library System. Um, so in the e-sources under digital collections is Jersey Clicks. If we click into that, it brings us to the New Jersey State Library and their database page. If we scroll down, we'll see NoveList. We can expand it to get a little bit of information. But if we click into NoveList, this is where this is where the magic happens. So right now on this homepage, there seems to be a lot going on. We've got some recommended reading lists. We've got this recommendation tile set for I'm in the mood for kind of thing. Um, and we've got different genres that you can browse. It seems like a lot at the beginning, but once you kind of understand what this website is all about, this homepage kind of makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to start here up at the top. Obviously, there's a home button, but then you can browse by genre appeal, themes, and award winners. Their promotion page kind of goes over what appeal terms are, and I go into it a little bit more in my write-up that I'm going to post with this video. Instead of, coming to this website with a book in mind, you can browse by genre if you know exactly what genre you want or what themes you want to look for, or if you're looking for a specific book under an award and you just can't remember the title, but you know it won this certain award, you can search via the award winners. Next to browse by is especially for. There's just a normal reader's advisory, which is focused on, I think, just the average patron, but then there's working with youth. I think anybody who works in a library nowadays knows that working with youth versus working with adults is very different when recommending books. There's a lot that goes into recommending books for young adults, especially at all different stages of being a young adult, like teen or new reader or new adult reader. So they have a specific tab for that. And then under quick links, there's a lot of resources for librarians specifically. So if somebody comes in and they say, "Hey, I love this author," but they don't have any new books out, do you know anybody else that kind of writes like them? You can go straight to the author read-alikes and search up their name. There's book club resources if your library runs a book club. There's book display ideas. I know at my libraries, I'm always tasked with coming up with displays, and so I actually use this book display idea a lot. Book to movies, connected with the other ones, sometimes my displays are book to movies or like what movies are based on books, and so that category is useful. Curricular connections, if you're more in the education sphere of libraries, Curricular Connections has a lot of curriculum that teachers and educators have shared that can be helpful. Genre outlines. I don't actually know what genre outlines is. Let's take a look at that. So it appears that genre outlines are outlines for librarians or for educators to learn about certain genres, so they're a little bit better equipped to recommend books within it or talk about those books with their patrons. I hadn't actually clicked in here before. Also under quick links is grab and go book lists in case that's something that your library does, and featured articles, which are articles that novelists features all about books and the library industry and the publishing industry and whatnot. Under How Do I, a lot of libraries have a tab like this nowadays, so this should be familiar to some of us, but if a patron comes on here and they have access to this page and they're like, how do I find read-alikes? This page is pretty confusing. They go up here, it's the first link, it's going to pop open like an extra page, and they can read through all the links to learn. Um, but there's also how to find books by grade level or reading level, how to find books by, their story elements, the appeal, the genre, or the theme. How do you get notified if, let's say, Ellen Hilderbrand wrote a new book and it just came out? Is there a notification system that you can? Um, how do I share my results? How do I print out my results? All of these resources pop out, one of these dialog boxes that help you learn how to use the website. So that's super helpful. There's also a help menu over here that you can click separately that brings you to a page very similar. So this one just has it's almost like a frequently asked questions tab, um, in other words. So what I want to go over next, now that I've gone over kind of the main tabs, is I kind of want to run the class through a scenario of a situation where you might use NoveList in a library. So I'm going to use the book, The Last Thing He Told Me, which is a pretty popular book. Um, patrons come in all the time and ask, "Hey, I I read this book. I really liked it. Do you have anything else like it?" And as circulation clerks, librarians, readers advisors, we've got thousands of books and we can't read all of them. So we're not going to be able to recommend exactly what they need all the time. So we've got to use tools like this. So if I type in The Last Thing He Told Me, we have two options. We can either press the search button and search exactly what I wrote, or we can click the autocomplete. Searching it searches the words, whereas the autocomplete will bring you directly to the book record, because that is the book's title. So I'm going to just search now, and I'll show you what the autocomplete does in a little bit. So searching it up, you can see a few things. One, we've got all our familiar EBSCO limiters here, genre, theme, character, all the way down, publication, age range. Got additional, we've got an advanced search here, which is the Boolean logic that we're all familiar with. But then we can also sort our results by books, authors, or lists and articles, depending on what you searched. This is the result that we want, though. This is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. And we've got a few options here. We can click into it and see the full record. We can click Title Read-alikes to see read-alikes for the title, for the book itself, or we can see author read-alikes. So we can see what other authors are similar to Laura Dave in their writing. Now, when we type this in up at the top here, and we click the autocomplete, we're not going to be given the option between title read-alikes or author read-alikes. So if you want to be able to find the author read-alikes, but you don't know the author of the book, then you're going to have to press search and then press this read-alike, not click on the autocomplete, because you're not going to get that option. So let's click in The Last Thing He Told Me. Let it load. And we've got a lot going on here. So first things first, we've got kind of the basic information right next to the cover. We've got the book appeal terms, the genre, the character, all the parts of the book that novelists uses to categorize their books, and kind of tag them. We've got a link that we can use to, send if people are emailing our circulation desk or our reference librarian. But underneath that, we've got some text. These are reviews from some review sites: Publishers Weekly, Library Journal, Kirkus. They're not always these three. It's dependent on where we can get reviews. Not we, I don't work for NoveList, but you know what I mean. Um, and then under more about this book, this is similar to the raw bibliographic information that we're used to on library websites, with the ISBN and the credits and the publisher information. But it also includes a lot of the information about the book that NoveList's advisors has compiled about the book. So like the storyline, the pace, the writing style, what media mentions, um, or where in the media this book has been mentioned, like Reese Witherspoon's book club, or the subject headings, or even the author characteristics. So like Laura Dave is a female author from the United States, and she's white. Um, some of some of this information might be useful if you're creating a book display of African American um, authors from the South, or you're looking to highlight Asian American and Pacific Islander authors for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. You might be looking for authors like that. So this is a good way to confirm that information. Under listen articles, um, you can just find lists within NoveList that this book is on. So the last thing he told me is included in Beach Reads, is included in Love is Complicated, is new and forthcoming because it's a new book relatively, or a staff favorite list by a NoveList staff member, Haley Einsman. So underneath this text box that we can go through is a lot of checkboxes. And so these checkboxes are a way to continue to search from your initial search. So if you liked something about this book, but you didn't you want to search for more, you can select things about this book that you liked that you want to keep searching for. So if I really liked the intricate plot line and the fast-paced part, the pace of this book, but I didn't really like the whole alliances, the clues, the computer programmers, or some of the subjects. I can choose some of the other subjects and leave some of them out, and then I can press search, and that will search the NoveList database, and it will find other books like it. So let me uncheck those. I only have a few minutes left on Screencast-O-Matic, so I got to go kind of quick. So on this side over here are the read-alikes. Now this is the big part of NoveList. You search these books up to find this information over here. These are titles that are going to read similar to this, which means that they have the same book appeals, they have the same genres or pacing or tone that are similar. These are not author read-alikes, these are title read-alikes. If there's, they list all the way down and they show their covers so you can kind of know what you're looking for in the library. If we go back to just regular searching and we get the full list, we can go to the author read-alikes, and this is just the read-alikes for Laura Dave, which means if we searched of Laura Dave, let me copy this and show you. The read-alikes that we would see on the side of her page are author read-alikes. They're not going to be title read-alikes because she's an author. So we see Bradford Barbara, we see Sandy Jones, we see Ellen Hildebrand, and we can see her, her work. So we can see what else she wrote. And so those are kind of that's the big scenario that you're going to kind of use NoveList for. And I can't tell you how many times I've been saved in a reader's advisory situation where I didn't know the book they were talking about, so I had no place in recommending a book, and NoveList really bailed me out because I was able to find the book they were looking for, or the author they were looking for, and recommend a book that NoveList advisors said was either like it or like the author or fit in the same genre or whatnot. So thank you guys for coming on this little tour of NoveList, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and get a lot of use out of it. Have a good day.